Now, this is chapter 7. I have no idea what I'm gonna do. Yep, I have to figure it out. You have no idea. I know, it just happens. Hey, if I can see him, it's a little bit familiar. Whoa! I have no idea if I can see him. Of course. Whew, okay. I have no idea what's gonna happen. I know, we're not getting away now, isn't? Not yet, definitely. Of course. Alright then. Whew, hope I'm gonna figure this out. Well, I hope so, because you said so? Not yet, definitely. Of course, at least you're trying to. Not yet. Okay. Yes! That time was not. Okay. Oh, okay. I was good spoons for that. Yep, cool, eh? Oh, not yet, definitely. Of course. It's a little bit familiar. Right. Did I know about this one? Whoa. Whoa. Okay, was good spoons about that. Okay. I was good spoons about that. Did not supposed to happen. Alright then. That was not okay. If I can assume, that might be cool. Alright then. I guess that's good from now on. I see that's good from now on. Even Saints, by the way. Alright. I knew this was supposed to happen for a while. Okay. How do you know this? It was supposed to be this far. Right, of course. You have no idea. I know, happens for a while. Right, of course. Okay. I guess I did go. Alright then, hope I figured that out. Cause you, said so? Not yet fully. Of course. It's been for a while, so that's okay from now on. Yep. Alright then, you know what to do. If I was trying to figure this out. Okay, he said so. It might be, but you didn't know this? No. Okay. If I can assume, that might happen familiar. Right, of course. Whoa, okay. No one would do that. Okay. I did not spoons about that. Whoa, okay. I was good spoons about that. Alright then. Hope I'm gonna be careful this time. Cause I said so. Right, of course. Whoa, okay. Was good spoons about that. Whoa, okay. I was not that close. Now what are you gonna do? There's like nothing you can do. Okay. Wait. Oh. Okay, that is not supposed to happen. Yep, it's a little bit familiar, by the way. Of course. If I was gonna know this. Wait. Oh. Okay. I was concerned about that. Since you know it might be, but I can't let that happen. Right. Of course. I see that's good from now on. If I was trying to be careful, if I could assume that might happen. Right, of course. Alright, let's be careful, okay? If I could assume that might happen. Alright. Didn't notice yet. I know, it just happened to me earlier. Even sense, by the way. Right, of course. Knew this was supposed to happen for a while. Yep. Whoa! So, I can assume you might be. Well, not yet, definitely. Of course. Silver the Hedgehog? Yep. Knuckles the Hedgehog? Yep. Shaw the Hedgehog? Yep. Son the Hedgehog? Yep. Tails the Hedgehog? Yep. Yeah. Okay. Wait a minute, so you're the White Ninja? Yep. I'm just trying to figure it out, you know? Right, of course. Are you trying to figure it out with them? Not yet, definitely. Of course. I can assume that's supposed to happen for a while. I know, if I can assume. Right, do you use spoon spot before? Not yet, definitely. Of course. You have no idea. It just happened for a while, you know? It's still kinda cool visually. Right, of course. You know, it's supposed to happen. It was gonna be here for a while. Yep. Tell me why. Okay, I was getting spoons about that. So, you can't figure it out? No, not yet. It's still cool from earlier. Right, and you didn't know this? Nope, it just happens. Right, of course. And you didn't know this? Nope, we can't figure it out. If I can assume, that might happen. Right, it's supposed to be this far or this far. Actually, it's supposed to be this far. I don't know, it just happens. Okay, so let me guess. You didn't know this? Nope, we're trying to figure it out. Right, of course. You have no idea. I know, it just happens. Even sense, by the way. Right, and you didn't know this? Nope, if I can see him, it might be cool. Okay. It's supposed to be this far, or it's supposed to be that far. Right, of course. You have no idea. I know, it just happens. Familiar. If I can see him, by the way. Did I spoon stop before, or... no. Of course. How that's supposed to happen? We don't know yet. Right, of course. You have no idea. I know, it just happens familiar. Even since, by the way. And how do you know this? We supposed to be this far? Right, of course. You have no idea. I know, it just happens for a while. Even since. How do you know this? Not yet, definitely. Of course. Are you trying to flirt with them? Not yet. Of course. And how do you know this? It's supposed to happen for a while. Right. If I can assume, that might happen from earlier, by the way. That's cool. Yep. And how do you know this? It's supposed to be this far. Right. Of course. I know. It just happens. Even since, by the way. Right. And you didn't know this? Nope. It just happens from earlier. Even since, by the way. Right. We can't figure it out. Nope. Okay then. I guess that's just. I guess that leaves behind. I guess. Yep. And how are you gonna figure it out? We don't know yet. Right. Of course. How that's supposed to happen? We don't know. Right. Of course. If I can assume. Yep. I can assume. Yep. Okay. I have no idea. Of course. If I can assume. Yep. Agree. Yep. If I can assume. Meow? Meow?